How's everybody doing?
Good.
Everybody having long sleeve shirts?
Yeah.
Yes, very good. So you guys follow instructions, fantastic. There's something called, he just called me from up there. He says, make sure everybody has on long sleeve shirts. There's a bug called no-see-em. And I'm like, really? That's really the name? He said, it's like a mosquito. It's a mosquito, like a mosquito. You'll feel it when it bites you. It doesn't really leave a welt or anything like that. But they call it no-see-em. Why do you call it no-see-em?
Because you don't see them.
You can't see them.
I'm afraid.
So I was like, you're playing a joke on me, right? He says, no, really, that's what it is. So now here's what's happening, right? So what happens after a rain? Anybody knows? Like after a rain?
Probably the sun comes up and sucks up all the water again.
Right, so that's
The bugs come out.
my turn in terms of bugs. So don't even spray yourself now, you're wasting your time.
The bug.
Right? And then I have plenty of bug spray for everybody. So how do mosquitoes recreate themselves? How do they reappropriate?
They probably I think they probably like go
My hypothesis is
that probably they go like hide somewhere.
right.
Like in the rain.
Right. You know? Yes.
They feed off of us. When they feed off of us, they.
Well, that's how they live.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
They lay their eggs
In
on
what?
Water.
In water. So that's why, for those of us, like I live upstate. And so I have there's a lot of water stuff around me. So every time there's a puddle of water, everybody gets rid of the puddle of water.
Yeah.
Because without a puddle of water, you won't have mosquitoes. That's why you have more mosquitoes around lakes. But you don't get that many mosquitoes around salt water. Why? Because they don't lay their eggs in salt water. It's called larvae. So you put it in a puddle, 24 hours, you see these little things look like worms. Next thing you know, mosquito! Ooh, that's a look at that bridge. Well, you know what? It says this has a weight capacity of 100 pounds.
Seriously?
Are we gonna make it? Stop.
Yes.
Are we gonna make it?
I've not ever heard of us again.
Don't go slow, go fast. Like, what is that?
Cheese.
We're living outside this weekend.
Oh yeah.
This is camping. So, all the running water, you need to wash your hands off. Just put it right here.
The fresh? Oh. Yeah. Look.
Wow, this is awesome.
We got a bunch of scientists who are already up in the field behind the house.
Oh, are they really already at it, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, they've already found a bunch of stuff.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All tents are kind of the same. So you just put these together, right?
Yeah.
And then you got to be careful nobody can step on them, because if these break, the tent doesn't work anymore. Then what we're gonna do is we find the bottom. See this is the bottom, because if it rains at night, you don't want the bottom to get wet. This top part, if it were on the ground, it'd get wet immediately. So it's called a bathtub bottom. And then you go like this, and lower it down, get it nice and flat. And then now we can see, it looks like there's more than two that are supposed to be here. 1, 2,
Let's put it across like
actually maybe just two. All right, so grab one of those.
put it up.
And then start it right here. So start it right here. You can start threading it through right there. And you can see that it goes to this one.
My name's Frank. I do the reptiles and amphibians.
Cool.
And then we're going to go out. I'm going to have a sheet, and it's going to have the names of all the different reptiles and amphibians.
We got papers.
Oh, you do?
And then when we see them, you strike off. That's the bird. He's here. And he's the bird guy. That's Brian. And then you're going to check off everyone we see. So like if we see 5 redback salamanders, we're going to check that. And at the end, we'll sum all these up and figure out who's common.
Don't go back to the van.
Real biology, kids. It's not like
for that.
phony stuff. And then I'm going to go get you guys some reptile and amphibian guides so you guys can know what the reptiles and amphibians are here.
So these new checklists, these sheets that my daughter caught us handing out are some of the species that we can see here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna set up these nets. It's not hair, and we're gonna catch birds in there. And when we check off, when we identify the bird in the net, then we're gonna check it off on this sheet. We're not gonna see all of these species, but we're gonna see a lot of them.
This thing has their names and their Latin names. So often when scientists talk about these animals, they say their Latin names because it's more precise. So I never call this thing a spotted salamander. I always call it Ambystum immaculata, or Max. So for instance, all scientists speak in the Latin names, not the common names, but we can do both. I'll try to teach you both. And the Latin names mean something about the animal. So like it turns into something else. Like Ambystoma maculatum, ambystoma, that salamander, means ambystoma, that's your mouth. It means to cram into the mouth. Because like when they grab food, they cram it all in there. And maculata means, you guys have heard of immaculate?
Yeah.
Immaculate is the opposite. It means spotted or dirty. Immaculate means clean
perfect.
because he has spots, right? And so
Yeah.
these names all mean something clever to these
So would you
animals.
say that the Latin names for them are the names that kind of are tied into their direct characteristics that
It
distinguish
can
them?
be, not always, but it can be. That's a good question. But the Latin name is the official name for the record, for the taxonomy of that organism. Because that's, in the 1700s, that was the language that scientists used to communicate. So if you were speaking Dutch or you're speaking English or German or French, everybody would know we go to this one language for these names. And still today, when I compose new species names, I compose them in Latin.
Wow.
And you have to, and they have little complex rules. They're really hard to actually do.
How many creatures have you named?
I just named a new species in China this month. Odd-scaled snake, a lot.
Wow.
A lot of new things. We find a lot of new stuff all over the world.
So you smell that? That's his musk.
What gender is he? Can you check it?
His what? Gender?
So what gender?
Frank will be able to tell what gender.
Oh, wow, look at that
Smell that?
musk.
Smell that? It's musk.
It's girl. It's a girl. It's a girl. It's a girl.
It's a garter.
It's a girl.
But I don't know what it is. But yeah, I hate that smell. It's musk. It's the thing.
Yeah.
So when it gets caught, it poops on you, so that it's like, don't. So he was running across the road, and he was trying to get. Yeah, he just bit a little bit. But he was trying to go under a rock, and so I grabbed him. But they're out all day long, so this is what we can catch.
We did the genetics of all these snakes, and we found it's not actually one species. Across the US is 3 species of them. And so even in the US, there are species that are yet undiscovered. So this guy, we might look at him and think like, oh yeah, that's all the same species. And when we do them genetically, they're more different than each other than we are from gorillas.
Wow.
Some of these guys. Pretty cool, isn't
Tell
it?
them how they got his name. His name Garter.
Oh,
It's a garden.
Well, we always say garden, right?
But it's
actually-
wrong.
It's wrong, right? We always say garden because you find them in your garden, but it's called garters.
yeah, because people used to wear these things called garters to hold up either their socks or pantyhose, and they had these lines on them. Yeah. So, their genus and species, Thamnophis, which ophis, anytime you hear ophis, means snake. Thamnophis, that means bush snake. Sertalis, I have to think about it. I actually haven't thought about what sertalis means in Latin. We'll figure it out.
First, I was scared. Then I realized these are kind people.
Look at that illusion. Isn't that amazing how they move?
Oh my God.
And when they move with those spots, it blurs together. So when she really goes, it becomes kind of hard to see in some ways because that blurs, and then when she stops, it makes a pattern.
Like the pattern is awesome.
Yeah. So if you were to see her on the forest floor, it actually is hard to see where she's
Isn't
going.
that crazy? You just got finished holding it. Now you're running from it.
In this whole area, in all the rivers, we expect to find lots of different fish. But in this stream, you're gonna find stuff that's like adapted to the fast flow, like the rocks. So you're gonna find hopefully some fish that have got like mouths that are like underneath that can suck to the rocks and stay like hold onto the rocks or hide under the rocks. Some fish that are more like torpedo shaped so that they can swim easily in faster flows. And then, you know, what else will you find? You'll find some catfish that are flat, that can like kind of like deal with the fast flowing water and also like move easily up the rivers and the little streams. And then when we get further down into like smaller pools, we might find little minnows, like little minnow fish.
Like the fact that
And in the bigger, deeper pools, you might find bass and perch and stuff like that. But so we're gonna
Trouts.
and trouts and things. Well, yeah, trouts and salmon sort of looking fish. So this is a net that we're gonna put out tonight, right? Oh, grab that. Well, we put it out a bit later. We'll see if we can find a spot. It might be not deep enough here, but this is called a fight net. So normally this was designed to catch eels, and what happens is we open up the net like this and we put it out for the light and we block the river off, right? And the fish all get funneled into this into this hole here, and then they swim through, and you see here it's got a bunch of like things where they like funnels that they can't swim back out. So they get in and then they can't get back out. They get confused. And the next morning we come and we'll look if there's anything in this net, and normally you'll find a couple of fish in the net that have swum in there overnight and can't get out. What is this? What are we measuring there?
We're measuring the pH.
The pH and the electricity?
The temperature.
Temperature, right? Yeah. So we hold it in for a little bit.
Oh, shoot. Let's
I need help.
Yeah, I can tell you.
It looks like a lobster. A baby lobster. Baby lobster.
It's a crawfish.
I ain't gonna lie, we eating crawfish today.
I'm telling you, I'm finding them like nothing. These are fun.
I love it. Let's keep going.
What's the name?
Brook trout.
We got a fish. Brook trout. We got the baby brook trout.
Okay, cool. Oh, is it? Okay.
Come on. Why there? It's like the worst place to go.
Yeah.
This is an American toad.
Oh, you hear it?
Yeah, and
Listen.
he's vibrating.
Exactly, a wood thrush.
Oh, good job.
This is a wood thrush. That's a purple fish.
And they're eating seeds?
Yeah, so you can see its bill. This bill is called a conical bill, designed for crushing seeds. But they'll also take a lot of insects too, especially on the head. So they're defending their territory. So they're saying, "This is my area. Get out of here." And then they're trying to attract females. But the females also sing too. We know a lot less about that. There's a lot of really exciting research on female vocalization. This is what we call a medium-sized songbird. So these are all what we call songbirds. The wing, and we have these feathers, and the shape of this wing determines how well a bird can fly. So the rounder it is, the poorer the flyer it is, the longer, more tapered the bird can fly longer distance.
Here.
Oh, that'll be a good fish.
Yeah.
You got her?
Here. Yeah, exactly.
Are we friends?
For now.
They know you.
Ticks that carry Lyme disease are as small as a period at the end of a sentence. So if you look at it like something that's written down and there's a period, that's the size of the ticks that carry Lyme disease.
Like
so
a sesame seed, right?
Yeah, or like even a little smaller, like a poppy seed.
That's a tick?
That's a poppy seed.
We saw a few of those yesterday.
It takes 72 hours usually for the tick to transmit Lyme disease. So some people panic when they see they have a tick on them, but just like you should relax, because usually it takes 72 hours before they start transmitting it, because they have to, like the bacteria and the spirochetes, they have to travel down their mouth parts. It takes a really long time. So if you have one on you, you should take it off as soon as you see it, and then you can draw a little circle with a Sharpie around the bite. And as long as it doesn't get red or grow in size, half the size of that circle, and if you caught it pretty soon, you probably are fine. That's what I would say.
Is there anything that you're learning about so far that you would say, oh man, I would love to spend more time just diving in and learning about that? Anything you can think about? Yeah.
I would love to learn about more fish and about more birds.
Yeah.
I would like to learn more about snakes and lizards.
My man.
Reptiles.
I knew you were gonna do that. You didn't pay him anything. I knew this shit.
I like to catch more snakes. More snakes. Much more snakes.
I love
And the reason I want to is because yesterday was my first time trying to catch snakes, and it was really, really fun catching them. And I just want to do that all day, all night.
Is that because you were afraid and now you're not afraid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I used to be afraid of snakes, but now that I know how to kind of handle them, I get more excited when I want to catch it.
I'm so happy.
You broke through to the other side. That's the way.
But isn't that kind of like what RJ is? It's not exactly what RJ was saying, but it's connected to it, which is there's so many things that if you don't know something, and then you understand it a little bit better, then you realize how much more you could be diving into that and getting excited about it. By being afraid of something, you're almost not open to it yet, right?
That's right.
And
And so when you open that world up, right, in those books I gave you guys, and you can see, you look at those plates and there's hundreds of these things. So like you might not have even known that. Now you've caught some and you're like, oh my God, there's so much more of this. And guess what? So much of this stuff is unknown. It's like, because that's in a book doesn't mean all that stuff is known, not even close, guys. And as I said, you guys could be the next explorers that figure out these things, what they are, where they are, how they evolved, whatever, you know?
I want you guys to remember this experience for the rest of your life, because experiences like this don't come very often, but experiences like this will help you really navigate and know what you want to do with your life. And I know, like, as Mr. Harris would say, a lot of your parents want you to be like doctors and teachers and lawyers and police officers and stuff like that. And I know, like, when I was growing up, that's something that, yeah, those are great things. That's something that I wanted to focus a lot of my attention into, and not mostly the things that I really like to do for myself. So it's very important. If you guys really, really like this, take this as far as you can go. Like, RJ is a perfect example. She liked bugs from, since she knew how to speak about bugs, and she took it as far as she wanted to take it, and look at her now. Now she's doing what she actually loves in life. So I want you guys to really take this experience and like reflect on it as you guys get older and think back, like, wow, I had so much fun at that Catskills trip, playing with the snakes and discovering new things about insects and discovering new things about fish and learning different ways to fish and things like that. So really, like, when you guys get to that point where you actually start to figure out what you want to do, think back on all the experiences that you had as a kid, and it'll help you so much more and figure out where you want to go. Yeah, truly.
That was awesome.
If you go on to do something that's unusual, like studying insects, I had a lot of people say, why are you doing that? Or even just going to graduate school. I had people saying, why are you going to graduate school? You already got your degree. Why do you have to go and get a PhD? Why are you still in school? As if I had made a mistake. Like like you're being held back, so you have to stay in school longer. And I'm like, no, I'm choosing to go. But that was like a really common thing. My family in Memphis, they were just like, I don't understand. Like, everyone else was done after 4 years. Why do you still have to stay? But I just kept telling myself, like, they're not the ones that have to do my whole life. Right. I'm the one that has to do my whole life, right? Yeah. Like, they're gonna live their lives, and I wanted to live my life, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do, very stubbornly. So I would say that's what you should do, is just hold on to it. You know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. Nobody here knows what you want to do. Only you know what is gonna make you want to get up in the morning, throw off the covers, and be like, yeah, I can't wait to start my day.
You have such a leg up over everyone else, because you can go and say, I'm interested in this, and you can start learning about it now. And if you're really excited about it, that's not work, that's fun.
Small tadpole here. Oh. Like about to hatch.
We got a milk snake! That's a baby too!
Oh!
Tristan, bring it close to the camera.
We got three today. We got three.
It's like 2 times better, and that's so cool.
Beautiful, man.
Oh, nice salamander.
My name's Tristan, and what I liked about the Catskills first was the snakes, because they're very fun. And I learned that they use this defense that's not their poop, but it is stink like it, and then it's weird. And then I just learned a lot about insects and type of fish, these tiny fish that we caught yesterday. And yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hi guys, I'm Miss R. You guys call me T or Tiara. I learned a lot on this trip. I learned how to get taken out of my own comfort zone. This trip was a good overcoming step for me. I'm not very great with insects. I actually hate insects, but this trip I was touching insects. I was learning so much about insects. I was learning the difference between an insect and a myriapod. I'm taking that with me because that is like such a cool name. A myriapod means a bug with many legs. So I got that. Myriapods are millipedes and centipedes. Definitely I just want to be able to take back that it's okay to be in an environment that you're not used to. It's okay to experience things and feel a little uncomfortable sometimes, but once you get the feel of things, you enjoy it so much more and you forget about the time where you were uncomfortable the most. So I actually want to take that back to anybody that's never done something before. Just go for it. Do it.
Yeah. Hi, I'm RJ. I think my favorite thing and my takeaway was actually that I can say things and be listened to. This has kind of been my soft opening to teaching because I've never taught before and I've always been a solo worker. I kind of keep to myself, and I felt really uncomfortable with the idea of trying to teach people things because I don't think I'm very good at it. But then being here and then having you actually be down to listen to what I was saying about bugs and be happy about it has helped me feel more comfortable with the idea of like TAing formally later this summer, co-leading a spider camp actually at Black Rock soon. So it was really nice to have this kind of like really kind intro to trying to show you things and things that make me happy, and seeing that they make you happy too has been really encouraging.
Thank you so much. You'll make a great TA. You're awesome.
Your encouragement, RJ. I've been doing this for about 35 years or so. You got it. And when I say it, I don't know, we can't define what it is, but you have it. And if I had to define anything, I would say it's the passion. If you're passionate about something, it resonates with other people, whether we like or dislike. To watch you come to the pool and say, oh my God, this water's cold, I'm not getting there. Oh, there's a beetle, right? That was crazy to me, right? But when people watch that, we say, man, she's very passionate, and you don't have an off button. It's constantly on for you. It's amazing, you have it, so yeah, use it. All right? Good stuff. Who's next? Yes.
Carol. I'm Carol, as you know, Dave's mom, Howard's wife, whoever he is. And I just want to say that we've been with Renaissance for 20 years about. And we've always had the belief that if we could just bring new experiences to you guys, open the doors, and let you walk out and experience it and take away whatever you want, that we're doing you a service, and that makes us feel good for actually being part of the program. Well, Dave, you have opened the biggest door I have ever opened, and it is so exciting to see you guys engaged, excited, interested, learning things you never thought you'd be learning. You learned this weekend. It wasn't only about the things from the Museum of Natural History that they brought. It was things about living together, and it was things about cooperating, and it was things about protecting yourself and protecting others. And I just want to congratulate you because you guys have achieved a lot. Everybody in this circle, including Monkey. Everybody has achieved something really wonderful, and you should go home feeling great about it. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
And guys, if it wasn't for Carol, we'd all be eating peanut butter and trail mix this weekend.
I'm Howard, Carol's husband, Dave's father. As Carol said, we've been involved for over 20 years now in Renaissance. I've been chairman of the board for 20 years. And we've done a lot of things, but Carol, I think you're exactly right. Dave, what you opened up here may be one of the most meaningful things and long-term things that we've done. We've brought together friends, Frank and Lisa and their family, and the group from Renaissance, and obviously you've brought the most amazing group, not only of scientists, but of people who care. And RJ, you were amazing. But when every time one of the kids mentioned the insects or the birds, the scientists were so excited that they had an impact. And the impact this weekend is just the tip of the iceberg. Bervin and Jeanette will bring back the opportunity. The kids here will be a contagious force within Renaissance, and we hope within the Bronx. As I've said to many of you, the Bronx is the poorest congressional district in the entire country. However, there are gems in the Bronx, and they're here today. They will introduce this program to others, and I think it will have a long-term impact. The lesson for me, what I bring away, is a confirmation that good people can make a difference. There are macro problems. There are very large problems in the world. Caring about them and thinking about them and trying to do something about them, I think, is very important. But having an impact, a positive impact on a single child, much less the 8 or 10 or 15 we have here and the dozens and dozens of more who we'll have next year at Bio Blitz 2023 is just immeasurably important. So thank you all for coming, our scientists, and thank you all for soaking it in, our kids from Renaissance. Thank you, Bervin. Thank you, Jeanette.
Just want to say that it's so good to be here. Also, like, good to teach for you, because we used to teach for adults all the time, and now they're teaching for kids, so it's always nice. And also, like, you are now specialists in many groups now, of fishes, of birds, of insects. And now you can teach your siblings, you can teach your parents when you get home. Because knowledge, the most important thing is like when you pass knowledge. It's not, what matters for us to keep the knowledge for us, with us. Like, so we need to pass them to the other people. And also, look how close you are from Jessica, from Gina, from Brian, Frank. They're curators, they're scientists, they're one of the biggest museums in the world. And so you are so close to them. So if you want to be an entomologist, if you want to be a paleontologist, if you want to be an astrophysicist, you can do it. It's close to you. So like, take this a step for you, so you can do it. If you want to be a bird specialist, insect specialist, or a fish, you can do it. It's so close for you. That's it.
Thank you.
Ricky, thank you for capturing all of this. I can't wait to see what it all looks like. And I think that that'll be part of what infects, all of these other people that aren't here with us, is being able to witness this right now. You're not going to be able to experience this unless you're here. But hopefully this just shows everyone kind of what there is to be excited about. So thank you for capturing all of it.
Thank you.
And man, when I looked at this place for the first time and I thought about, maybe buying this big piece of land with like a little crappy house on it, I thought about things like this. And this is the first thing like this that we're doing here, and hopefully not, by long stretch the last. I'm so excited to do this again. I'm so excited to do this again and again. And I'm so excited to just think about how we can get more kids excited about science at a place like this. And the scientists, I mean, you've opened my eyes to all of the things that are here. It's just incredible, just the amount of information that you do have in your head, and I appreciate you all sharing it and passing it along to all of us. I'm excited about birds now. No, I'm excited about all of it, but this morning I woke up and I was right next to the red-eyed Viria. And I was thinking, there's so many people that are interested in birds, and how many people get to be this close to all these birds? It's just incredible. This is such a special experience. And so other people have said it, but the age that you're at right now, you have the opportunity to, if you are very excited about it, stay very excited about it, because you have the opportunity to be an expert when you grow up if you stay very excited about it. So if you're excited about it, just dive in at that diving beetle and just keep going.
And I would just like to say, if you are very excited about it, you definitely need to let Mr. Harris know, because he will make the resources available to
I mean,
you
the
to continue
resources
it.
are a text message away, I imagine.
Yeah.
For sure. I wanted to thank my co-curators for coming here. I asked them, and on a drop of a dime, they said, for sure, we were going to do it. And the people from ichthyology who are not curators, but are professional research scientists, that are Gina and Bruno, that are not even from this country, that actually had to learn these fishes to show them to you, right? So that's, a little bit of a hard thing. And obviously, to all the kids and everybody at the Renaissance Youth Center, you guys, I feel like I love teaching you guys, and I can come up with new ways to teach you. But really what I see and what I get out of this is I see my youth in you guys. And so you guys in some way are restoring my life to me. So thank you guys very much. And anytime you want to go out and catch snakes, please let me know. Please. He's ready now.
I meant to say one more thing. The first time I heard the word Bio Blitz was on a walk with Frank over there.
And Lisa.
And Lisa, but you said Bio Blitz.
Yeah.
And I said, what's a Bio Blitz? And this is a Bio Blitz. And so I thank you, Frank, for inspiring this entire thing and making this all possible. This is just a dream come true.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.